What are the 8 traits of great employees and how do you actually spot them so that you can onboard them to your team, treat them awesome, and grow your company faster than you ever thought possible? We'll be covering that and more in today's video. Hi, my name is Matt Ockerson. I'm the founder and CEO of AutoGrow.co, in case you don't already know. And in this video, we're going over the traits of superstars, superstar hires who you want to find. They're out there in the job market. Oftentimes they'll still be employed if and when they ever enter the job market, leaving another job, looking for a new one. They usually don't last for long. Other companies will just snap them up. So you want to know exactly who and what you're looking for in terms of people who are out there who can be superstars for your company. Because the effect of having a superstar on your team, what does that mean? What does that look like? I'll sort of reference an entrepreneur who I respect and admire, Alex Hormozi. In a past video, he was giving actually a speech on stage at this marketing event, and he was talking about how oftentimes he would be interviewing people for his companies, and he would say, sometimes someone would come on board and he was so sold and so convinced that the person would be a superstar hire, and then it would just be a letdown because they just wouldn't be. The confidence would be there, but the results and the delivery just wasn't. More to the contrary, he would actually find that he was more often surprised by certain other people who he was maybe on the fence about who would actually turn out to be superstar hires in the end. Because the effect and what a superstar hire is, it's someone who is just fantastic at their job. It's almost like a force multiplier. That being said, obviously you want as many superstars on your team to supercharge the growth and scalability of your company. So what should you be looking for when you are looking through resumes, when you are hiring? What are the traits of superstars? Well, one of the first traits that we picked out here in our research and in experience from hiring hundreds of people in recent years and scaling to be a multi-billion-dollar company is emotional intelligence. Would be one of the first ones towards the top of the list. Emotional intelligence is a really important one. And according to hospitalrecruiting.com, I like the way how they broke it down into 4 different dimensions: self-awareness, social awareness, self-regulation, and relationship management. Emotional intelligence, what I see, it's a constant internal and reflected externally calibration by this potential hire, or it's an existing team member too, and you're kind of like looking within your team or within your organization to understand who to promote, who is going to have the best judgment in terms of feedback on helping you to solve a certain problem. But it's constant internal calibration in terms of them being aware of themselves, them being aware of the stakeholders on the team, or in the situation where maybe there's a problem that's trying to be solved. Emotional intelligence is really important for sales as well. If you get on a call with a prospective client, if it's a customer support situation and for whatever reason the product didn't work, there's an issue that needs to be resolved, emotional intelligence can again come through in terms of that flexing of the empathy muscle and knowing and listening and being able to read the emotion and the body language and just have a sense and an instinct and an analytical, ideally too, perspective on top of that so that you can properly reach a resolution with the customer or client, for instance. So that is one character trait, potential strong indicator of a superstar hire. Second trait of great employees or great potential team members is their ability to be flexible and adaptable. If you see this in existing employees or potential team members whom you're consider hiring, this may be an indicator that this person could be or become a superstar for your company if you hire them. So flexibility and adaptability just means that they may be coming into the job with experience in perhaps similar tools, similar technical knowledge. This ability to be put in a new situation and to adapt to that situation, and you can progressively even get better in terms of applying your existing skill set to either grow that existing skill set or grow, new skills. It's actually, as many CEOs have cited in this recent research study from Horton International, where 63% of CEOs are unable to find or recruit talent that can adapt to the requirements of the business. And it makes sense too. Technology and the market and, the problems are always going to change, and therefore the solutions and how those problems are solved are not going to be solved in the same way that previous problems or similar problems may have been solved in the past. There's always going to be some sort of slight difference, some sort of learning curve, some sort of, reasoning and logic that will need to be applied to it. And flexibility, adaptability is critical for that reason in terms of a trait of a potential superstar hire. So the next trait is assertiveness and confidence. You want to be assertive so that you can actually be heard. Thought more about it. And instead of assertiveness/confidence, the way that I would frame this is more like the following. And this is from experience, having watched and done and made hundreds of hires over the years. So instead of assertiveness or confidence, rather, you detect that the person in the way, in the tone, in the style, in the substance of what they are communicating, for example, during an interview for a job, they're communicating from a place of experience. And the words and the content and the delivery of it all just exudes, yes, I am communicating this way because I have had the hands-on experience. I have competence in knowing how to do what it is I'm talking about and knowing how to solve this problem. And the words that I am saying and the place that this is coming from, it's from a place of self-esteem, having done it, rather than superficial or ego-driven confidence, or just confidence where kind of faking it because you want the job. The next trait of great employees is having a positive attitude, but I would put a star next to this one, asterisk, positive attitude, asterisk, because you want people on your team who can be just dry sometimes and just completely realistic. Let's say, you were hiring someone to manage, your personal financial portfolio, right? Based on your scenario, you were going to be working closely with this person. So positive attitude might be important, right? But realistically, you want that positive attitude also be based on something that is realistic and not just, well, the stock market dropped 30% today and your portfolio is basically wiped out. So sorry about that, but have a lollipop. It's all good. It's like, no, let's assess the situation objectively. And let's have, when we say positive attitude, more of a can do. We can do it. We can accomplish what it is we're setting out to do. There is a solution to this problem. We can overcome this challenge. There are alternatives. We just have to work our way through it, or we simply have to assess. The next trait of potential great employees who can be or will be superstar hires for your company. And this one is really essential. It's having integrity and just being honest. Recently, there was a team member, and this team member had access. They found to some information that they should not have had access to. This person personally brought it to me and could have used it in a way that was negative or potentially for his or her potential gain. But instead, they chose to have integrity and to be honest about it. And they just brought it to my attention. As a result, I trust that person so much more. And frankly, my assessment of their judgment in terms of having an interest in building the relationship and doing this, and then, knowing that it would probably build the relationship. So it's a little bit meta to think about. But the fact that they did just makes me like them even more. It just exceeded my expectations. And so now I feel I trust this person even more. To quote Warren Buffett, who I think put it simply and perfectly, we look for three things when we hire people. We look for intelligence, we look for initiative or energy, and we look for integrity. And if we don't have the latter, the first two will kill you. Because if you're going to get someone without integrity, you want them lazy and you want them dumb. The next trait of potential superstar hires is just ensuring that they are predisposed to share or align with the core values of your company. Now, I think one of the more latent problems is that most companies, in my sincere opinion, are just not sincere or just haven't really taken the time to understand what are their core values, because it's very trendy and it's very easy to put core values on your about page. It is much more difficult to actually live and breathe and die, if it comes to that, but usually not literally, by your core values. And when I say die, what I'm saying is you hold these core values even when they are a disadvantage. You don't just simply bend with the wind when it comes to these core values. These are the exception. You do not compromise on these ever. And so a great hire is potentially already living by these core values in their life, or they live by similar or related values. And so they're predisposed to take them into, I guess you could say, their heart, but certainly into their professional actions and behaviors and attitude and style and just thought process and reasoning within the company. Quote from Mahatma Gandhi, "A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes." The next trait of potential great superstar hires is drive. Some of the best people in terms of to work with, to accomplish things with, they got something wrong with them. My personal theory is that all of us humans, we're all imperfect, and up close, we all have just personal problems, and we work those problems out in different ways. And I say this, in part from personal experience, in myself. I work so hard because I had some negative experiences growing up, and creativity and working out, it's the best possible therapy to me. I love accomplishing things with my team, coming up with creative marketing ideas and executing on those ideas. It just makes me happy. It makes me be more of who I want to be. Keep an eye out for people with a chip, or better yet, 2 chips on their shoulders. They got something to prove to someone else, and ideally though, to themselves. Extrinsic incentives, they can only go so far. You get a bonus if you do this. You get a metaphorical slap on the wrist with a warning or a reprimand or offboarding if you do this. But in terms of a superstar hire, they have drive. And finally, last but not least, is conscientiousness. This is perhaps one of the best predictors out there for a superstar hire, because conscientiousness by itself is a predictor, according to neuroscience, of high intelligence. Evidence from more than 100 years of research indicates that conscientiousness is the most potent non-cognitive construct for occupational performance. Translation: consciousness is a great predictor of someone actually performing exceptionally well at their job. In other words, conscientiousness, what does it look like? It means being very detail-oriented. It means if you are a web developer and you're getting ready to push some new code for a new feature live to the website, you have tested that feature every which way. You're being conscientious in terms of you're trying to hit that feature. Where are the bugs? Shake the bugs out of it. This is part of why conscientiousness is a great predictor, not only of high intelligence, but also of exceptional performance within your company. So you want to keep an eye out for people who display it both during the hiring process as well as they are coming up within your company and part of your team. If you would like to read some of the additional research that we put together as part of the article that goes with this video, go ahead and click the link in the description and you can dive deeper into it and find out some of the additional traits that we found as part of our research for this video and article. And if you want to accelerate your success, go check out AutoGrow.co, because we provide you with an all-in-one, done-for-you digital marketing team. And we solve the problem of helping you to scale and free up more creative and create more marketing capacity for your company, for your team, wherever you are at in your growth journey. We work with companies large and small to help them to get to the next level. And you never have to deal with any of the headaches of hiring, because we are taking care of all that for you behind the scenes. And we are applying much of the lessons that we are talking about here in videos just like this for your benefit. We're finding those exceptional people who can get you the results. In fact, you get up to 16 different skill sets with AutoGrow. For example, copywriting, design, development, ads, strategy, and much more. Plus, you can sign up today, and it's just $7 to get started. We have a $7 for 7-day trial. So I encourage you to go check it out. It's AutoGrow.co. And if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and until next time, keep auto growing and stay focused.